But what we're going to do today is we're actually going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take a website, one of my portfolio websites that I really never did much with. I kind of started it as like a little hobby, and it's just been kind of sitting, not getting any love or attention. And we're going to set that one up with a new theme so that I can show you step by step how we do this. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because it will allow us to go through each item and show you, instead of just tell you, I can show you this is what it does. And you'll be able to actually see it kind of unfold in a website format. And if you already have WordPress, it's also going to help you considerably with editing your own. You know, how do you add widgets? How can you put another theme on there and redesign it? Obviously, if you guys are using my brother's websites, if you have bought a brew with Jeff and Paul at ballenbrands.com, you're not going to be wanting to change your look, but there are some things that you can still add and plugins and features. So we're going to be going through all of that. In addition, if you have any questions as we go through this, type them in to the comment bar, the chat bar, and Jeff will tag me if there's something he thinks I need to answer. And I will also keep that chat open if I can and take a look at it. Now, we are here for 2 hours today. So if for any reason you can't stay through to the second hour, you're going to get a playback. It's so much better if you can stay live. I can't tell you how many people with good intent think they're going to come back and watch it and never do. I'm somebody that loves to replay videos, but I know a lot of people tell me that they just never make it back. So stay if you can. The first hour, we're going to set up a website, and the second hour, we're going to use a website. So the first hour, I'm going to teach you about themes and plugins and the dashboard and settings and all the things that you need to do to get that website in optimal performance. And then the second one, I'm going to teach you posts and categories and tags and Gutenberg blocks and how we go about using the WordPress platform to make the most of it. Sound good? Any questions, you guys, before we get rolling? I'll go to share screen. Okay. Thank you for the engagement. I appreciate it so much when you guys give me feedback. When I'm in front of a live room, I can see faces. When I'm in front of a computer just talking at you, can't always tell if you're getting it or if you have questions or anything. So I love the feedback there. All right. Oh, hey, Edith, how are you? All right, Edith is ready to roll. Okay, so we are recording. I'm going to go now to share my screen. 1 second there. And we're going to go to share the screen. All right. Perfect. Okay. All right. I can see what you guys see now. Okay, here we go. What you're looking at right now is a WordPress website. WordPress itself is a content management system. We call it a CMS for short. So it really allows you to manage content, media files, pictures, PDFs, create portfolios, documents, obviously your pages and posts. It is a content management system. It offers growability, scalability, complete control. You can make it look how you want. You can make it do things that are different than everybody else. So you really have just so many options with a WordPress website. Now, this one is my real estate website. This is the one I use for my Las Vegas real estate team. And this is a Ballen Brands website. So basically what we did here is I was building all of my own websites. And in 2000, I don't know what it was, 15, I had so many people asking me for these websites that I started a marketing company and started selling them. And at first I was working with a guy that was helping me to put them together really fast. And then I finally recruited my brother away from his own company back then because they were moving into different things. And Jeff came on and he had a lifetime of background in developing websites. And so we got together and started building these, and they're called Brew, which stands for Ballen Real Estate Website. Now, these are WordPress websites that have different plugins, and I'm going to talk to you about what plugins are, that add functionality to the website. And then also the guys over at Ballen Brands have added coding and customize to make things have a certain look and feel. Okay. So anybody could build any of these, but all these different web developers will do different things. And I sit and play with my own websites all the time and make them look different. And then I call Jeff when I break them because I break them all the time. And I'm like, this won't work anymore. I must have done something. So these are all pre-built, ready to go. They have your grid of homes. They have, this is called IDX, Internet Data Exchange. And IDX is what allows that MLS feed to go into your website and create these types of pages. And this is part of the Ballen Brands package that they put all this together. If you're building your own, you can also choose an IDX provider and build it in. There is some technical aspects of it, but it is possible to do that. It's done all through a plugin or through some drop-in codes, okay? I tend to build my websites very large, and I find that the plugin tends to not perform very well when it gets too heavy of a load. So I will drop in code on my pages instead, a little piece of code that IDX gives me that I can make these pages happen. Okay. We have review plugins. We have, right now I have some conflict with how my ads are running in here. I'm still working on that. We have neighborhood pages. Oh my goodness, all over the place. Okay, well, we need to go turn that off. That's crazy. So just so that you know, in case you go poking around at this website later, and I go back and forth with this, I have ads running on my website, and I make some money on people landing on these pages from Google that might not be otherwise interested in buying real estate. But it's challenging when you're using a platform like Google AdSense to get those ads not to show up in inconvenient ways. And that's where I wind up sometimes with those struggles. So it looks like somehow it got turned back on, which would have been my fault, to show on the pages where originally I only had ads showing on posts. And I will explain the difference between pages and posts. So I've got to go turn that off so that these don't break my IDX features there. All right. But we're not going to build onto this website today. I just kind of wanted to show you this website because these are already pre-done and ready to go, or you could sit and build these out step by step when you're building a WordPress website. The one that we're going to go play with is called Midlife Monarch, and it is a mess. And the reason why it's a mess is because I stripped out the original design theme and am playing with different themes. Now, WordPress themes change your design. Okay. Here's another one of my websites. You're going to be able to see that they all look completely different. Okay. So this is ballenblogger.com. And then I have loriballen.com, which has a completely different theme on it. This theme is completely optimized for ads because I make money with ads and affiliate income on this website primarily. And then I have a food blog called ketodays.com. And that one has a completely different theme on it. Okay, because you can see it's a food blog. I like it. I like this theme on there. But here's what's interesting. When we pick a theme to design our website, we don't have to pick a food blog theme for a food blog. We don't have to pick a real estate theme for a real estate website. We can pick any theme that we like that looks good, and then we can add these little plugins that add real estate functionality. In this particular case, this is just one of my favorite WordPress themes called Essence Pro, and Jeff and Paul also use it, have created a similar theme now to this because I like it so much. And I just made it a food blog. I added a recipe plugin and just made it a food blog because I liked the theme so much. Okay. So themes change the design. I also have the seventhstream.com. This is the same theme of the one I just showed you, but it's a financial blog instead of I love this. This is still my favorite theme out of all the themes I've ever tested and played with, which is why Jeff and Paul went back and redesigned the entire brew to look like this. Because I just fell in love with this, the white space and the big clean boxes. And I'm just obsessed with it. Jeff, do you have the affiliate link to StudioPress, or do I need to grab that? So here's
on it right now.
Thank you. Well, here's how this works because something has changed. My suggestion is if you want something like this, talk to Jeff and Paul first. Okay. But if you want to try to put this theme on there, which maybe we'll do this theme for our example today, because I think that'd be an easy one to set up. It used to be you could buy this theme by itself, and now you have to subscribe to the entire Genesis Pro library. Now, I like it. I subscribe because then I can go pick any theme I want. And I'm going to be showing you this. You're going to see. In fact, let me just open this and I'll show you. We're going to go to, I think it's StudioPress. Genesis bought out, WP Engine bought out Generate Press and StudioPress, and it's changed a bunch of things since it bought it. So it's a little bit confusing. Let me check Jeff's link here and see how that, make sure it works. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jeff. That was the right one. Okay, so look at what it says here. Right here, you have to go to sign up. And then when you sign up, you're going to look at this. It's $360. And I think that's an annual fee, or is it a one-time fee? Does it say?
It does show annual at the top right.
Okay, I thought so. It used to be you could buy one theme for $100 or $89 or $129. They kind of rotated. Now you've got to buy the entire subscription, which gets you Genesis blocks and framework. And I still like it and I still have it. But just kind of giving you a heads up on how this all works now. So Jeff, if somebody loved the Essence Pro theme though, are you able to put that on a website for them? Like you guys would have to build them a whole website, right?
Yeah, we have access to the Essence Pro files and all that. So we can certainly provide, like from a support perspective. What you don't get when you don't have the annual subscription yourself is like the continued, like you'll still get regular theme updates, but you wouldn't get like the support and, access to like the new files that they might add to it, like enhancing it or something. So it's really more just, you get it as it is at that time, and then just none of the upgrades or, future development.
The generate blocks, I think, is the really big one too now that I don't even see it on there, but a dynamic custom block builder.
Yeah.
But if somebody wanted this after they see me put Midlife Monarch together, they can just call you and say, I want that website, and you can build them the website, yes, right? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right. So let's go look at what this looks like now. So let's just say this is WordPress. All right. If this is your first look, what we're looking at is the dashboard. The dashboard is where all of your little messages are going to pop up from your various plugins and themes. This is how that software communicates with you. Okay. Also on your dashboard, you might have analytics, you might have other things, other tools on here, or it might just look like this. Welcome to WordPress. This is probably what you're going to see when you're just first getting a brand new website. Okay. I don't do a whole lot from this dashboard here myself. I work normally within the plugins, but I wanted to kind of give you an idea. So you'll see here, like there's plugin updates, so I can dismiss that message. And then they want to know if I'm enjoying Thirsty Affiliates, and I can say yes or no or whatever and get rid of that one. And then you'll see that all throughout, okay, where your messages will appear here. On the left-hand side, you're going to be seeing me bounce around between these items over here. This is where you really want to start your learning. Even after we're done with today's call, when you want to go poke around and expand your knowledge, these things that you'll see in your left-hand column are what you really want to be learning about. Now, I've got extra things in my side column than you might have, because I have plugins that are additional pieces of software that add additional functionality to the website, such as Thirsty Affiliates, Ninja Forms, Woocommerce. Those are all extras that I have added that you won't see when you first log in. Also, you have something here called updates. It's very important to keep a website updated. There are two things that need update. Well, there's more than two if you have page builders. Your plugins, every time the software company does something to their plugin, they roll out an update, but it's on you to do the update or to set it as automatic updates, okay? And the theme also often needs an update. If you have page builders, they might also need updates, but you're going to see those right here. Now you can just select all and click update, and it will update all of them for you. But I want you to notice, if we go to the plugin section itself and scroll down, all these little red wheels with these yellow warnings, these are saying, hey, you need to update this plugin. Now, I have auto updates actually enabled. So as long as I'm on my WordPress website working on it, those are actually going to update automatically. So I don't have to worry about it. So if you don't see it right here on the right-hand side, if you see a little thing that says enable auto updates, you're going to want to click those. So that way it'll automate for you automatically. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about do any of that right now. But if you don't update your plugins, you might lose the functionality of it. You might become vulnerable to hackers. That's a big one. A lot of times these plugins will create a little patch that prevents hackers from tapping in. WordPress is notorious for being hacked. And it's because they can use these plugins sometimes to infiltrate your dashboard. And so you want to make sure that you're keeping those updated so that any software patches are going to roll out to your platform as well. Okay. All right. Jeff, the WordPress hosting that somebody buys through you.
Yes.
Does it have WordFence, or did you tell me it has some other sort of built-in security?
Yeah, it has a built-in security through the Flywheel hosting that we do.
Okay, so somebody doesn't need to install additional security necessarily on top
correct.
of that.
In fact, if you do, sometimes it'll cause some conflicts because they're both trying to mediate something that may not exist. So yeah, if you're check with your host, if you're currently hosting, then it might be good to double check if there's already security measures going on so that you don't need that extra plugin. But otherwise, yeah, WordFence is great.
Cecile's question, do you update plugins immediately or wait until after the bugs are out? I update them immediately. Plugins, I update immediately. However, large core files, you'll get a notification that says there is a core update. I think I saw one on here a little while ago. When they say that, that is a major update. And sometimes when you update a large core update, it'll break some of your other plugins and other functionality. So I will frequently wait for those, like give it a week, let them work out all the bugs. And then I'll put it back on. And some themes, like if you get a freebie theme or you buy a theme from a side developer or something, they might send you an email even saying, hey, don't update that core update yet for WordPress because we haven't yet got our recipe plugin to match that, or our IDX plugin to match that. Okay. So this is why it's nice to have somebody managing all your websites for you so that you can reach out to them and say, hey, I'm having challenges, or there was a conflict, or I updated this. And I know that like Jeff and Paul can jump in and help you like solve a problem too.
Jeff, did you want to say something? I see you on screen.
Yeah, I was going to say in some cases too, the plugins will actually identify that this hasn't been tested with your current version of something. So sometimes you'll see a little warning in that little yellow bar with the plugin that'll let you know, that it may be a bigger change and may or may not work right. So basically just be careful and watch for it. Plugins have come a long way. It used to be, you couldn't even do automatic updates because plugins were breaking everything all the time. So they've really come a long way to isolate specifically, the files that are necessary. So you don't have much of that risk. And again, sometimes you'll actually see the notice that says, by updating this, it may cause some challenges. So again, great time to reach out to someone like us or someone that is familiar with how that all goes together and can make sure you're safe.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so let's go look at themes. I'm going to go over here and I am going to go down to appearance themes. So make yourself a note. If you've never seen WordPress before, you don't know how to use this. Themes is under appearance. And so you won't see themes right here on the left-hand side, but you go to appearance and then you go to themes. Okay. Now themes, it used to be themes were very hard to put together. And some themes are still hard to put together. I did that one restored 316. I did it on camera, and which was really good because I had to figure it out on the fly as I went through it. But man, that one was challenging. Beautiful website, but super, super challenging to put together. I tend to stick now with more basic ones that have larger fonts and more white space. I don't like adding flash elements and all the fancy schmancy stuff that slows down your website. Really popular themes right now are some ones that work with the page builders like Astra and Elementor Pro. Jeff, is Ballen Brands your website on Astra? What is this one on?
Yes. Astra.
Okay. So here's an example. This is Jeff's website over at Ballen Brands, and this is using the Astra theme. And then they're using the Elementor page builder, and the WordPress websites that they build for real estate also have the page builder built into them now. Yeah. And page builders, they help you add functionality. They help you design better. And I go back and forth. I'm sometimes not using page builders because I'm more focused on core vitals and speed. And I'm trying to just keep this as simple as possible. And then other times I want the high functionality and I go back to the page builder. So it's a little tricky. Unfortunately, what we have found is that most page builders do have some challenges with getting your website to pass those Google Core Vitals. However, it doesn't seem to be hurting my ranking necessarily when I'm using those. My real estate website does really well in the rankings and it has a page builder on it. So and I've got other websites that don't have page builders that aren't necessarily doing any better. So I just kind of want to put that little side note out there that as you start playing around with designs, there are elements that can really slow down your website. It's not usually the page builder itself, like Elementor itself. When I first put it on, it passes all the core vitals. It's what I do with that page builder that tends to slow it down. We're putting in too much video or large files or things like that. So if you're going to play with those, you do have to kind of watch the templates and what you're building out because it can, not necessarily will, but it can slow down your website. Okay. All right. So we're going to do one today. Let's see. Do I have a page builder on this one? I think I do. Let me check really quick because if I do, we might want to get rid of that. So we're going to go to plugins. And I'm just looking to see if I have Elementor on there. I do not. Okay. I only want, for today's example, I don't want to complicate things by having a page builder today. Okay. So we're going to go to appearance. We're going to go to themes. Now let me show you the theme library where you can actually choose themes. So right here, we've got a couple options. We can add a new theme. So this would be if you're going to StudioPress and buying their library of themes. And here's what it looks like. I'm going to go to StudioPress themes. There are free themes, there are paid themes. So when we're going to StudioPress themes, I'm going to give you an example of what it looks like. View themes. So this is what, if you got the subscription, weird. Looks like their little preview thing isn't showing as clearly as it usually does. So if you bought their suite of themes, you can sort by category, and you can look at all of the layouts that they have here. And there are themes for real estate, and this is the one I have on Ballen Blogger. This is the Essence Pro theme, and you can play around with the various themes that they have to offer. You could go to Astra and buy their theme. Jeff, if you want to throw out the Astra link, if you didn't already, and the Elementor link in case somebody's curious to check that out as well. If you have those, I have the, I don't know if they're on Lori's tools, but I think so. Okay. And these links that Jeff's throwing out there, I do have affiliate relationships with most of the software that I teach, which means if you wind up making a purchase through one of those within a certain time frame, I do benefit. Sometimes they give you a discount or a coupon or a free this or free that. Sometimes they don't. I don't usually know until you land there what you might be getting with that. Okay. Now, in addition to uploading a theme, you can also go over here to the theme library, click on Add New, and you can play around with this compository of WordPress themes. What you'll find is there are some premium theme builders, such as the Astra theme, such as the Ocean WP theme. Cadence is another popular one. They all kind of look similar now, lots of white space. And usually you'll end up having to pay for some sort of upgrade after you get the free one, because you want to get rid of their branding, or you want to change the footer, or you want to add more colors. And there's usually some sort of an upgrade. Sometimes you can get away with a free theme. Most of the time, you're going to wind up probably having to upgrade. Now, WordPress just rolled out a theme builder. I have not touched it. I shouldn't say I didn't touch it. I looked at it for 5 minutes and went, oh, this looks really like I don't have the patience to play with it right now. But this is an example of one of those themes, is this 22 theme. But what we're going to do today is we're going to do hold on. I'm just thinking quietly. I want to see, okay, so right now I have the hello theme installed. And now we're stuck. Why are we stuck? Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm afraid now that I said I'm gonna do the Elementor theme. I mean, the Essence Pro theme is already all pre-installed, so it will probably set it up instantly. But based on how much time we have left, I'm just going to do this. So we're going to go to Appearance, and I'm going to go to Themes, and I'm just going to go ahead and activate this Essence Pro. So let's take a look at this, what it looks like before I put Essence Pro on it. Okay. Clunky, not clean, rubbing up against the edges. This looks okay. Okay. But if we go now to themes, we're going to activate the Essence Pro theme instead. Okay. I'm going to click activate. Now let me see what this does, since it's already been installed in here once. Normally you would upload it. Okay, good. This is exactly what it would look like if we were uploading it. So you would go over to StudioPress, you would buy the theme, or wherever you're buying your theme from. It's going to give it to you in a zip file. So you'll actually see the file and it'll say .zip. You do not need to unzip that file. Whenever you upload a theme or plugin, you leave it in its zipped form. Okay. So we did that, and this is what you will see. Set up your website. Now it's going to come with atomic blocks. That's what it is. I was calling it Genesis blocks, but they're now called atomic blocks. So it comes with atomic blocks, and it comes with WP forms. These are a couple plugins that have some sort of functionality. You can remove those later on. You can add others, but we'll go ahead and allow this to install the recommended plugins. And we're going to go to also let it install our demo content. It looks like it's already done those things. If these were not yet, if those circles were allowing you to click on them, you would go ahead and run through that process and it would upload it all onto your website. Because I've already installed the theme, they're already in there for me, is the only difference. So now we're going to go to set up your website. Now, this is where I want to walk you through some of these elements there we go. That's what I wanted. So see how now it's installing the recommended plugins and now it's installing the demo content. So in the old days, when I don't know how many of you guys have been, if anybody was building websites back in the day, we used to use, cannot remember the name of it. And I lived on that thing for like in the 90s. Okay, can't think of it. And I've lost my chat log. Where'd my chat go? There you are. Okay. If I think about it later, I'll tell you what it was. Golly. Well, anyway, now when we put a theme on here, we can just click install demo content and it just whips the whole website up like it's supposed to look. And before we would just get this box and we would look at our screen like nothing. How do you put it all together? And we had to go through step by step. Now we don't. But the bad news is with installing demo content is you're now going to get content that's part of a demo that you need to remove. Look at that. This is the website, you guys, that we were just looking at that was clunky and ugly, and now it's beautiful. I mean, that just blows my mind at how easy that is to make that work. Oh, incredible. Now, in my case, though, because this was a theme I've already set up on here once, it has defaulted back to some of the styling that I already put on there. So I need to just kind of show you. So once you set up a theme like that, it's like this, the important things are going to be that you make sure that your home page, this is called the home page, make sure that your home page is set up. And I'm going to show you where to do that. You're going to make sure, like all these buttons, you need to make sure they say what you want them to say. You need to make sure that they click through to where you want to click through. Let's just say we're making this a real estate website. This might say buy a house. This one might say sell a house. And then when they click that button, it goes to another page all about buying a house and then gives them more options from there. Or maybe this is search the MLS and it goes to your MLS search page. And this one is get your instant home value. That's what you'll see on the Ballen Brands one, right? Is that what I have up there? So on the Ballen Brands one, we have, what am I thinking of? Hold on, let me click through to this and see. Please ignore those ads. Like I said, it's messed up somehow. And that's my fault, not Jeff and Paul's. Not Ballen Brands' fault. Did I say Angel Fire? What did I say, Scott? Scott, you have Angel Fire. What did I say?
You might be still referring to what you were building on before.
What did I say? When
you were saying what we used to build on, you couldn't remember.
Oh, thank you. No, that wasn't it. It was way older than that. I think it was the original first ever website platform where you didn't have to know code. And I'll think of it as soon as we're off. I'm like, oh, that was it. Okay. Okay. Anyway, up here is something similar on the Ballen Brands website. So we have shop. Oh, that's weird. I thought we had a home value button here.
We did. You asked us to take it off at one point.
Because it wasn't, maybe it was underperforming or something.
Yeah, I think it wasn't, you weren't getting the clicks up there. So we didn't have it on there on yours.
Okay. But they can go here and access their home value.
Yep.
Okay. So we play around with those. And then there's going to be items on your homepage that need to be updated. And then the next thing we always do is we make sure that this menu, right now, this has the menu, the sample content in there. So it's going to pages that don't really match what I want my website to be about. Now, if you're hiring a web developer like Ballen Brands to build your website, they're going to deliver it done. You're not going to have to mess with all these menus and everything. But I want you to know how to do this. So that way, if you do go in and make edits, you'll know how you're making these edits. Okay. All right. So what we do is we start right here with this button that says customize. So we're going to go over to customize. You can see here the theme. So no matter what theme you put on your website, this is how you're going to start. You're going to go to customize and you're just going to walk through each of these items and you're going to go in and set them up if they need to be set up. Okay. So site identity. All right. So up in the little tabs, do you see these little graphics, these little like logo things that are right on those tabs? Those are called site icons or favicons. And I've seen Google play around with using these on the search engines. I wish it would bring it back. I saw it kind of dancing with it, and I liked it. I think on mobile we see them on search somehow. So what you want to do is you want to create a little logo, a little favicon that you can upload, okay, and put that kind of identifies. So you can see this is Canva. Canva has that little C. Clicky has a little mouse click. SEMrush has their little logo. My Ballen Vegas one has a little house. 7th Stream's all about money, so it has a little money tree leaf. So you kind of get the idea of how that would look. Now, how you create one of those is it says here they should be 512 by 512. So I go over to Canva, and I'm going to go up here to create a design, and I'm going to go to custom size, and I'm going to choose 512 by 512. You can type that in if you don't see it up there automatically. Now on the left-hand side, I go down to elements and I start typing in things that might be related to the website I'm building. So if you're building a real estate website and you have a logo, you might be able to use a piece of your logo. If you don't have a logo, you can actually just click on graphics and take a look at these different logos here and see how they would look on a favicon. I think this one would look great because of the way it has these colors. So I might try something like that. Or here's another really good one, a simple thing like a rooftop. Okay. So you can play around with these. And what you would do, actually, I want one that's more vertical. Let's just try this one real quick. So I'm going to just kind of stretch that out a little bit there. Make sure it's large enough on the screen. Okay. Now I'm going to go to, share, and I'm going to download this. So I'm going to go to download, and then you have to check transparent background and download. And this is, you might call this something like Ballen Vegas real estate site icon. Okay. Now we're going to go back over here. I would go to select logo, upload files, select files, and then I need to go to, it was in my documents. I just saw it. Hold on, let me get to my documents. Okay. And then I would optimize this for keywords if need be, put in my alt text description that describes what's in the picture for somebody that might be using a screen reader and they can't physically see it. So I might put red and yellow house with green trees. And then I'm going to click select. That's interesting. This one asked me to crop it. I like that. That's going to make it much bit easier. And then I'm going to click crop image. Themes do different things. It's crazy. That's why I like playing with all the different themes, because they just, I put it in the wrong spot. Hold on, let me click remove. That's why it was asking me to crop it. I meant to put it down here and I put it in the logo spot instead of the site icon. So I'm going to go down here and change image. There we go. Okay, select. Still asking me to crop it. Okay. Ah, shucks.
You're actually cropping the cropped one because you chose the second one that you've already cropped. So close this window.
Skip cropping. That worked.
There you go.
Okay. It's hard to design and create and teach at the same time sometimes. Okay. So now if you look up here, there it is. I don't know, you guys, that's probably so tiny on your screen, huh? Let me see if I can make that any bigger. Nope. Okay. Anyway, so now it's like a little house. So I play around with different things. You want it to be identifiable and different than what everybody else has as much as possible. Okay, so you can play around with all of those different ones. I'm going to remove it because I'm not keeping that one on this particular website. Okay, then we go back. Then we're going to go to colors. Now, depending on your theme, you may have lots of color options. You may only have one color option. Like in this particular case, all we have is a link color option. And you can see here, this is using the link color as well. So if I wanted Midlife Monarch instead to be purple, I can click on purple, and now all the links on the website are going to change to purple, and it changed that button up there to purple as well. Okay. For the sake of time, I'm not going to get into this today, but there is a really cool setup with Canva Pro, if you have the Pro version, where you can actually go in and set up a brand kit, and they tell you what colors work well together. So you're going to go with the blue palette. You can pick one main color, and then it'll give you a whole bunch of other colors that go well with that. You can use that throughout your website. You can use it throughout your featured blog images, your YouTube thumbnails, your flyers. It just makes everything on brand. Okay. And that's a really cool thing. And I you can ask me later. I have a video too on YouTube that shows you how to do that also. Okay. So you can play around with this. Now you can also change the colors by sliding these little sliders. You can move this all around and pick exactly what you like and get it to stop there. Or you can type in a color code. So you can go over to Google and type in like blue color codes, find exactly the blue color code you want. You can paste that number right there, and then that will be your button. Okay. But keep in mind, in this particular theme, it changes all of these links to that color. I kind of like this color. It's growing on me very quickly. maybe I should go with that one for Midlife Monarch. Okay. So next we have Essence Pro settings. So in this particular case, we click on basic settings. And if you want to, you can enable an intro paragraph. And what it does is on any blog, it makes a larger intro paragraph on the top, but that's a styling option. You can leave it or not. And then you've got your header background image. So see up here how it's got that woman back there. Maybe you want to put a picture of a house if you have a real estate website. Maybe you want to have a really pretty picture of a kitchen. So let's look at that. So 1600 by 800, 16 by 18. So I go over to Canva again, and now I'm going to type in 1600 by 800. Okay. And now let's go to photos. I'm going to type in kitchen. Okay. And let's just say we like this kitchen. That is definitely not a Las Vegas kitchen, but I'm just playing around here. So let's just pretend we like that one. Then we come up here and we go to share, and we're going to download it. And we're going to make sure it's not a super large file, because that could slow your website down. So I'm just going to click here to compress the file to make it a lower quality. And I'm going to change that to a JPEG.
Yeah, I was just going to make that recommendation. The PNG files typically are larger files, but if you need that transparent background, then we need it to be PNG. Otherwise, yeah, the JPEGs will give you a good quality with a lower file size.
So when we made the site icon a minute ago, you guys, and I chose Ping, the PNG, whenever you're taking away the background and you want to have an image that overlays on top of something else, you have to use a PNG. In all other cases, if I'm not doing a print or billboard, I use JPEG. So thank you, Jeff. Exactly. Okay. So now we'll go to download. I cannot believe how fast the time is going by. And then I'm going to I'll just put kitchen for now. So, okay, we come back over here, and I'm going to go to add new image, upload file, select file, kitchen, open. Then we're going to optimize it. We're going to put in all of our stuff over here, the title, the alt text, select and crop. And you guys are Ballen Method members. You have all of this in your curriculum, how to optimize images. It's all in there. Everything I'm teaching you today is in there. So even if it's not, this isn't, it's coming at you fast, you have all the tools that you need in the academy to learn this. Okay. Oh, skip cropping. Okay. Nope, it wasn't tripod either, Scott. I just saw your guess. I liked your guessing, but none of those. Okay, so there's.
Are you talking about Dreamweaver?
Yeah. Thank you. That hurt my brain to not know what it was. I should have known you'd know, but you were too young then.
Well, I actually started on Dreamweaver as well, but I in my mind I was thinking web-based, and Dreamweaver was actually a desktop application, that you use. Then you uploaded everything to the server. So yeah,
it was the first one like that when we were still using dial-up.
Yep.
Internet.
Yep.
I mean, talk about really dating me now. So anyway, so there's an example that actually looks really nice. So you can play around with all those different images here. Okay, so that's what you do there. You can also randomize them. So you could put in a kitchen, and then you could put in a living room or a pool or whatever to play around with your different headers. Okay, so that's what we do up there. And then we're going to go back. And again, every theme that you set up is going to have these types of things. Are just going to be different with where they show up. Okay. Now, the next thing you have right here is menus. So many people get stuck on the menus. Okay. The easiest thing to do is to identify where this menu is that matches. So this one says header menu. So if I click on the little arrow and open it, you can see they match up. Home, about us, contact us. Okay, but some themes will have a secondary menu. Okay, you can see there's placeholders for that one. And in my case, that one's not showing up anywhere right now. And then this one here, primary this is the header, which is right here, menu 2. And then this one is the primary navigation, which is set on the footer. So if you scroll down, this is the footer menu. So you can have certain things in the top, you could have a different menu in the bottom, or you could have identical.
And back to Lori's point, this is specific to the Essence Pro theme, where they've built in the ability for, there are 3 locations you can have a menu on their particular theme. And down a little further on that customizer, it has the view all locations, and that's where you can set which menu shows up in which area. In some cases, it wouldn't, they won't be predefined like that depending on what theme you're using.
Exactly. That's why every theme comes with a setup guide. And if you just go to most of them are digital now, you could print them, but most of the time you're using a digital guide. You just scroll down in menus, it will tell you where their menus are. And they usually will do screen capture. StudioPress is phenomenal with their guides. Their guides make it very easy to go through. It'll say, okay, now this is homepage section 1, and this is homepage 2, and drag 2 widgets into here. And I'll show you what the widgets are in a minute. And then, kind of walk through that. The first time when I was setting up WordPress years ago, guys, I was so overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed by widgets and plugins and menus. And I just took it one piece at a time, and I played around with all the different types of things until I got a real flow. And let me tell you, setting up themes and taking them down will teach you really quick, because you have to learn how plugins and widgets and themes and menus all work together when you're setting up a page. So if you really want to learn this, take a website that you're not overly concerned about and play around with installing different themes on it. You'll learn really quick how things work. Okay. So if you go to your menu, all you have to do is click this little, whatever's already here, and then you can actually remove it. In my opinion, it's usually just to remove the demo content and choose what you want your menu to be. But if you wanted to make it identical, you can. Okay, so now look at our header menu. Now, I didn't publish. Let me publish the changes and you'll see the menu disappear. Or not. Oh, okay, that's weird. I removed it from the top one, and there's okay, so you can see in real time now that it's making these changes up here to your menu. If you give it a second just to load, you'll be able to see it in real time. That was another thing we never could do with Dreamweaver. You had to do like design the whole thing and then go look at it. Okay. So now let's say you want to add something to your menu. Click add items and you can actually scroll through all the pages on your website. You could do a search for a term. Let's just say, I know I've got one on here about eyelashes. So I'm just looking. Oh, they're under posts. Okay. Pages in most cases, pages are your cornerstone content. Let me use another word. Pages are your staple pages. They are typically your about us, contact us, reviews, location, pricing, services. These are those. If anybody landed on your website and needed to talk to you and learn more about you, those are what are typically in your menu. We don't put every page on our website in a menu, never. Most of the time, people are finding your pages through Google, through a search engine, through a social media share, through a blog post, or they're going to your website and they're doing a little search and they're searching around. The menus, though, need to be the starting point, okay? So on a real estate website, we might have buy a house, sell a house. What do we have on Ballen Brands? So we have our blog, homes for sale, home value, contact us, real estate market report, and things to do in Las Vegas. Those are what I have chosen personally as looking at what everybody comes to my website for. Those are the main things. They want to look at the real estate market report. They want to find things to do in Vegas. They want to shop homes for sale. They want to get their home value, or they want to contact us. Okay. And then I have a link to my blog. I could also have my reviews up there, but I have other pages also that link to the reviews. And then the reviews are also on the home page. And then down here, we have a different footer menu for them to actually search the MLS. This is being fed in through the IDX plugin that's on the website. Okay. So that would be an example. So you can just scan really quick for a page, add it to your website. You could scan for a post, add it to your website. If you have an e-commerce store and you're using like the Woocommerce plugin, I know Jeff and Paul build e-commerce websites as well. Those of you that are building your own, you might also be putting in some sort of a plugin. Woocommerce is the most common e-commerce plugin to help you build a store. So you might have products, okay? You might have product categories. So anything on here that you see, you can actually click and add to your menu. So let's just go to pages and say we want to add the blog. So just click that little plus. There it goes. Now it's going to show up here in the menu in a second. Right there. See that? And then if I want the contact us page, I'm going to click contact us and it'll show up there. But remember right now, those are my demo content pages. So I need to go make sure I choose my contact us page. The easiest thing to do is go through your pages when you first set up a website and remove the demo content so that you don't get confused. Because otherwise you'll wind up with 5 about us pages if you install a bunch of themes and forget to get rid of the demo content. And then it gets real confusing when you're adding to the menu. They're all called about us. You're like, oh, which one is it? So a little cleanup first before you're reinstalling themes is always advised. When you're first getting started, it'll be easy to see what the demo content is, okay? So that's how you play with your menus. Then we go down to widgets, and we can see here on this theme, we have after content featured. Not going to get into all that today. We have a footer call to action. You can add things down here to here. So here's one, products. You see products. Simple social icons, that's right here. And then we have a search bar, that's right here. These are widgets. Widgets are these little boxes of content. And you can have all kinds of widgets. You can have IDX listings. You could have a home value calculator widget. You could have a mortgage calculator widget. You could have a subscribe to our list widget, okay? So these are drag and droppable widgets that you can move around your website and your theme depending on where your theme allows you to add elements, okay? So this is how you would set up your WordPress website, is just to go down one by one, by one, by one, follow their steps, open the guide, make sure that you're putting things in the right place, okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, come back at Come back at 10 after. Come back at 10 after. I'm going to stop my microphone and I'm going to stop my video and then we will resume. Okay. Come back at 10 after. Okay. Welcome back. Give you guys just 1 minute here because I said 10 after and it's 9 after. Okay. All right, everybody ready? Any questions? I know that was a bit clunky that first hour on setting up that theme. But I was kind of hoping to give you a different look than I've done in the past at how everything gets set up. So I would encourage you to go back into Ballen Academy after this and watch. I have a whole series of WordPress, how to set up a menu, and we cover just that, and how to set up this theme and that theme, and it'll be easier flow for you now that you've kind of seen a quick summary to go now break those down piece by piece. Okay. All right, let's go look at how to use WordPress. Okay, let's first talk about, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you this one. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about posts and categories and pages. Okay, so again, my opinion is pages should be things that don't expire. They're not time sensitive. In the case of real estate, for example, all of your MLS links are typically pages. But if you're going to go write a blog about the current real estate market, I would make that a post. A post are typically your blog articles, time sensitive or not time sensitive, but these blog articles over time tend to decay. You might remove them, you might update them, you might make changes. So in my personal opinion, you can do it in multiple ways. Pages are your staple pages that are not going to change. About us, contact us, home value page, your MLS links. Okay. Those are your contact us. Those are your pages. Anything else that you're going to, in your neighborhood pages, this is Desert Shores, and this is Summerlin, and this is this neighborhood and this neighborhood. Those would all be pages. Okay. In my opinion, they don't have to be. Now, you have blog posts and categories. So this blog here is called The Best Affiliate Marketing Tools to Crush It in 2022. And this blog is all about affiliate marketing. So it falls under the category affiliate marketing. Now I've got this little breadcrumb here, and breadcrumbs are really good for SEO. And breadcrumbs are a little path that say, this is where you currently are. And then if you click that, a lot of times you can see the home page. And the further down you go into that rabbit hole of looking at content, those breadcrumbs could get longer. So maybe you started on the home page and then you went on the affiliate marketing, and then affiliate marketing has a subcategory of affiliate marketing programs. And now you're 3 in, it'll kind of show those across the top. Now, I do use heat maps to measure where people click and how the page performs, and any tables, breadcrumbs, any of these things at the top of the page, they get clicked. So they're very good. Also, it shows SEMrush. It shows SEMrush. It shows Google how your pages are all related to each other. And for example, when a whole bunch of your, when I say pages, technically every page on your website is a page, whether it is a blog post or a page. But WordPress has this definitive page versus post when you're creating a post that can be a little bit more confusing. Okay. But basically what these do is if you have a bunch of blog posts that you've written and they all fall under the affiliate marketing category, and a blog in there starts performing really well and getting lots of backlinks, it can influence the other blogs in that category that can also do real well. So it's important to pay attention to this structure, this site structure. And I really like a good, clean structure where all the posts are related. And I'm using a combination of categories and sometimes tags. Tags usually come into play, like, let's just say you had an e-commerce store and somebody's they're looking at best cotton t-shirts. You could have a tag that itemizes that item and says red, blue, green. It kind of drills them down a little bit more, but they're all under the t-shirt category. That would just be like an e-commerce option suggestion. If we take a look at actually, now that I said that, if we go to my affiliate programs. Oh, why did I take that out of there? I always love when I'm teaching and have to use my website from a user standpoint, because then I go, oh, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know why my affiliate programs aren't up there. So if I go right here to affiliate programs in my search bar. Okay. So for example, $13 high ticket affiliate programs. Still not a good example. Oh, that Mercury retrograde today is throwing me off. So I might have an affiliate program. The blog post is all about the Shopify affiliate program. Okay. So it's in the category affiliate programs. But I'm also thinking to myself, this is a WordPress plugin. So I might give it a tag, WordPress plugin. And then I might say, gosh, it's also e-commerce related. So I might put e-commerce. So your tags are kind of a little bit more like keywords. You're not going to stuff it with keywords. So I want to be careful about how I say that, but they're kind of like keywords. So I will use tags throughout. And this isn't a great example of showing you how to use one. But posts go under categories and then you can add tags. So let's go to like, we're going to write a new blog for the first time. I guess we have to go back to Midlife Monarch because I'm not logged into the other one. Okay. Up here, we're going to go to new and we're going to create a post. You know what? I'm going to log in. I want to use Lori Ballen. Hold on. This is the challenge with having multiple websites, is that I'll make changes to one that are the way I want them, and then the other websites don't have them. Hold on one second. I'm going to stop video just while I log this in. Oh, I meant stop screen share. Hold on. Okay, start screen share. Okay, we're going to use this one. So I'm going to go to new post. The reason I'm not using the real estate website is because it is a custom theme that Ballen Brands design, and it has a whole bunch of different elements on the back end that look very different to the everyday WordPress use, and it gets a little confusing trying to explain how they're different. So I just, as my model, I want to just kind of use a clean version so we don't get distracted by all those extra elements that are in there. Okay. So WordPress. We're using WordPress. So we're creating a new post, and we're going to, when I create a new blog post, typically, I don't actually write it in the WordPress dashboard. I would like to see that change, but the tools that I use don't integrate with WordPress. So for example, if I'm using an AI writing tool, which I know a lot of you guys have seen me use, I will go write it in my editor first, and then I will come over and paste it into WordPress. But for the sake of showing you how these elements work, I'm just going to kind of do something from scratch here first. Okay. So let's just say your blog post that you're writing is 99 things to do in Vegas when it's hot. I need to go write that blog post. That's actually a really good one. Okay, so let's just say that's the title. All right. And then here I always write the intro. Now, you know what? I'm just going to open my tool because I got to show you how it's really done, or it doesn't really do you any good to see it how you can't. I can't show you the fake way. I got to show you how I really do it. Okay, so I use Jasper, which is an AI writing assistant to create my intro paragraphs. I didn't used to do this. This is all only like the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or something like that. But I don't suggest that you use an AI tool to write your articles for you, but I do suggest you use them for elements of your article. Okay. So I go over here to documents, and I'm going to go to new, and I'm going to go to start from scratch. I think Jeff's got a link there for Jasper for you guys. My chat window's closed, so I can't see if he put it out there already. Okay, so what I do is I go like this: 99 things to do in Vegas when it's hot. I paste that up here as my title. I go over to power mode, and I pull up the blog post intro paragraph. I paste the title here. Who is the audience? People in Vegas, Las Vegas. I'm just going to put people in Las Vegas because they could be homeowners. They might be visitors. Okay. And then I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to click. I can't see it. What does it say? My little zoom bars over it. I think it says create AI content. Okay. So then I get all these samples of these intro paragraphs. So let's look at the first one. Las Vegas is a city known for its casinos, nightlife, and weather. When the temperatures start to soar, some people may feel like they are limited in what they can do. However, there are plenty of activities to enjoy in Las Vegas when it's hot outside, from swimming and hiking to biking and shopping. I don't know if I want to be hiking when it's 99 degrees. This list has something for everyone. Okay, so we look at that one, and then you might go down to it. Look at this one. Summertime in Las Vegas is hot, really hot. I like that one. Like so hot, you'll break a sweat just by stepping outside your air-conditioned hotel room, kind of hot. But don't worry, we've got 99 ways to keep you busy and cool until autumn arrives. From swimming and hiking, I'm taking that hiking out because none of us want to go hiking when it's 99 degrees. Shopping and skiing when it's hot. No, there's something for everyone on this list. So what you do is you find one that you like, and then you can edit it. Like I'm going to take out skiing, and I'm going to put something else in the summer that we all like to do. It could be visiting indoor arcades. It could be bowling. It could be watching a movie. It could be, I'll replace it with those types of things. Okay. Then I just paste that intro right into here. That's what it would look like. Now, I also have the Grammarly Chrome extension, and Grammarly is a tool that I pay for. I pay for the premium version because it has a plagiarism checker in there as well. And especially when I'm using any kind of AI tools, I want to make sure they're not taking copy from anywhere else, which Jasper doesn't. Jasper is learning an entire language, and it's giving you its own words. It's not respinning an article. Okay. Some people use it to rewrite articles. I don't. That's a whole different section. Okay. So I would make my changes and take a look at what Grammarly is suggesting if I think that's a change. Okay. Now, the next thing I do is I lay out my headings. Paragraph subheadings, we call these, are a way to break up your content to make it look clean and organized. Okay. Also, those subheadings can be keyword focused. Okay. So for example, I know this isn't an SEO class, but again, I want to show you exactly how I'm doing things. So for example, 99 things to do in Vegas when it's hot. I'm going to go over to the search engine and I'm going to type in things to do in Vegas when it's hot, for example. Okay. And I'm going to take a look potentially at what some of the other people have covered. And I may want to include those types of items. Okay. I might want to look at the people also ask questions and see if any of those make sense. I might want to scroll down to the bottom of Google and look at these suggestions. Oh, indoor activities, non-drinking activities, lazy things to do in Las Vegas. If those make sense for those headings, I can use those. Another thing that I could do, I mean, this one's very specific because it's things to do when it's hot. So it's going to be a little bit different. I have a plugin. So earlier I was telling you guys that I add plugins to WordPress websites that add functionality. Used to be all the plugins were free. Now, more often than not, they're paid tools. They might start off free and then you got to upgrade and pay for more if you want more. One of my new favorites is called Rank Math. And you know what, Jeff? I did not give you that one yet. So let me just grab this real quick. You guys can see exactly how I store all my affiliate links for those of you that are loving the world of affiliate marketing that I've been teaching you lately. Oh, I'm sorry, I want Rank Math. Rank Math. I need to add it to loristools.com. There it is. Okay, now I'm going to send this out to you guys through chat. And you should be able to grab it. Don't know if it gets you anything special. Okay, you should have all just got that. Okay.
That went to just hosts and panelists.
Thought that was changed. Now did it go?
Yep, all set.
Okay. Rank Math is a plugin that replaces Yoast, and it is way better than Yoast Premium. Free versus free versions are often very similar. If you're not paying for Yoast, then you probably don't need to pay for Rank Math because you don't know what it does anyway. But if you're somebody that likes the bells and whistles and does the schema markup and index now and all the extras, Rank Math helps you rank better because it has more of those built-in features. Okay, there's other things I like about it. I tested it years ago. I didn't keep it because it didn't have an automatic redirect feature, which is a must for me. They have now added the redirect feature. What they don't have is the internal linking suggestion tool yet, like some of the others have. So I hope that they add that, but that's what I use Link Whisper for. Another conversation. Anyway, here's an example. The reason I broke off to tell you that is because you're going to see it right here. So if I click on this little red box up here, I can click in, I could type in my keyword, things to do in Las Vegas. That might be my keyword. Or maybe I want to look if they have when it's, oh, when you're 21. Ah, there it is. Things to do in Las Vegas when it's hot. Okay, so that is a keyword that people are searching and it showed up here. Now what's going to happen is as I create my content, this is going to start scoring me. And it's better than Yoast's scoring system because it actually scores you on more advanced things, including down here in the additional category, the keyword density, how many images you added, how many headings you used, did you link out to an external resource? Oh, I love it. I love it. And that's, I didn't even get Rank Math for this because I pretty much know what needs to be on a page. But check this out. They just added this and this is amazing. And I did not buy it for this reason. I didn't even know it was here. But speaking of AI tools, if I click right here on Content AI, and I click it puts my keyword in and I research it. Now it's going to give me an AI analyzer and it's going to tell me what other keywords I need to use and what other headings I need to use. And it's looking at the competition, very similar to what we do with Jasper. If you have a Surfer SEO integration or Phrase, which is another tool I've talked about, it's like the same kind of thing. So for example, right now it's saying, oh, well, you only have 72 words, but look what it says. I need to create 2,283 words up to 3425. So I'm not going to get a good score until I create at least a couple thousand words of content. You get the idea? So this I love because it's integrated inside of WordPress, where all the other tools I'm doing third-party stuff. This is actually integrated. I got to talk my brothers into adding this to the brew. I don't know, Jeff, you might have to see if they have an agency version. Okay. Then it's going to count how many links are on the page. And it wants me to use 38 to 57 links. Those could be internal links. Those could be external links. Then it wants me to use 14 to 21 headings. And then it wants me to use 18 to 27 media, which is usually pictures. It could be a GIF or a GIF. It could be a video. So it wants those kind of video files. Then it goes down and tells me what other things people have talked about with this things to do in Las Vegas. Okay. So I might want to look at those. And then it's got the various headings. Is it? Oh, it didn't finish it. When it's hot. Oh, it did. Okay. I thought it was only comparing things to in Las Vegas. Okay. Anyway, that's a really cool feature. So then what I would do is I would go down here, and again, I'm going to create this all in my AI tool, but just for the sake of showing you how the Gutenberg blocks work, you see this little plus sign. This is now going to allow you to add blocks of content. Okay. So click on the plus sign and look at all the things that you can add: paragraphs, headings, lists, images, embed tools, videos. Now it just hopped over to the left because I clicked expand, quotes, music files, media and text, columns, buttons, calendars, RSS feeds. Oh my goodness. It goes on and it goes on and it goes on. And if you have any of the block add-ons, you can get to a whole bunch of more things: testimonials and teams and multi-buttons. And so if I were to click on testimonial, for example, look what it just did. It just created this testimonial slider for me that I can now go through and add a bunch of testimonials on there. This is just an example of how these blocks work. But in our particular case, we want to add some headings. Okay. So you can see here, I'm typing in heading and I'm adding a heading. So things to do in Vegas when it's hot. Maybe I want to add some subcategories, or maybe I just want to start listing those 99 things to do when it's hot. Okay. So one of them might be hit the beach clubs. Okay. Or I could just put the beach clubs or the public pools. These are things that would be very popular here in Vegas that people would search for. Okay. Now I could add a list, or I can add a paragraph. Also, if I just wanted to add the next heading, I don't even have to go over here and click plus and go to a block. I actually could just type in the beach clubs water park, beach clubs water parks. Okay. Now I can just use this little editor and I can just change that to an H2 heading. All of these things are very challenging when you're first learning WordPress. But once you do this and play with this and create content, now all of a sudden, everything starts getting super easy because you've done it so many times, and it's all the same format typically once you get this going, that it makes it really simple. Okay. So in my case, I would come over here to Jasper, and I'm going to go to this, what's called paragraph generator. And I'm going to do something like, what's your paragraph about? Cowabunga Bay, Las Vegas is a great place to go when it's hot. Okay, for example. Then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to generate AI content. Takes a second. It's scanning its library of knowledge. Okay, Cowabunga Bay, Las Vegas is a great place to go when it's hot. The water is cool, the waves are fun, the food is good, the staff is friendly. Okay, there's nothing quite like a refreshing dip in the pool when the weather is hot, and Cowabunga Bay, Las Vegas is a perfect place to take a dip with this massive wave pool, lazy river, water slides. There we go. Cowabunga Bay is sure to help you beat the heat. Plus, it's located right in the heart of Las Vegas, which it isn't. Isn't it in Henderson, Jeff? I think Cowabunga Bay is technically in Henderson.
Cowabunga Bay actually also bought the Wet and Wild, so that's called Cowabunga Canyon.
So they're both owned by the same company. So I'm not yet, but yes, you're right. Cowabunga Bay technically isn't Henderson.
Is Wet n Wild gone?
It's just been rebranded now, basically, out of Cowabunga.
I had no idea. Okay, so you gotta fact check. You can't just publish this stuff. You got to look at it and catch some things because it might have old data. It doesn't know the new stuff. Okay, it's not a fact. It's not great with facts. It's great with laying out the language, and then you go in there and change the facts where they need to be. Okay, so let's just pretend I want to use that. So under water parks, if there's like 3 or 4 or 5, I might put another heading right here, Cowabunga Bay, and then I would make that an H3. So it's kind of like an outline, right? This is your H1. So if you're going to a seminar and you're at real estate Inman real estate conference, that's your titling the top of your notepad. And then you go to one of the breakout sessions and it's all about how to get for sale by owner listings. And so that's your H2, how to get for sale by owner listings. And then there's going to be 3 panelists talking about how to get for sale by owner listings. And you might say Lori Ballen, and then I'm an H3, and then Jeff Helvin is a different H3. And then you're going to put notes under those people. Think of it that way. That's how this works. Most of us are using H1 and H2s. Some of us go as far as H3s, and you can go all the way down to an H6. I don't know if I've ever used an H6, but I have gone down to H4. Okay. So then I would paste Cowabunga Bay right there. See how that works? Okay. Now let's say I want to get fancy and I want to put a little clip of Cowabunga Bay. I can do this a few ways. I can go over to YouTube and I can put Cowabunga Bay. And I'm going to sort this by most recent upload date. Oh, 2 days ago. I'm going to hope if they're a real estate agent, I sometimes won't use them. Okay, this one's actually by Cowabunga Bay. So let's go with that one. Okay, not the best video, but let's just pretend I'm going to use this one. I'm going to go to share and copy that URL. I'm going to go back over to my blog and I'm actually just going to paste it right there. So every time you hit enter, you are technically adding a new block of content, whether you go in and grab a block that has the different widget components or you just paste something in there. Okay. I need to see the chat. Is anybody asking any questions? Doesn't look like it. Hold on, I got to blow my nose a second.
Yep, we got you all covered. Yeah, and all of these pieces, guys, you know, again, there's a lot to take in a way, but really they're just layers. There's just each step. And as we get to learn them better, we get a lot more savvy with them. You know, things become second nature. Lori's obviously quite the genius in what comes off the top of her head. But the implementation of these things is really a recipe. It's something that we can all follow if we just kind of have some purpose around what we're doing. So that's why we love this so much. There's just so many different ways to come at it, different genres, different websites, different themes, and we can look different, but we really use the same recipes to create our own creation. So it's very exciting. That's why we love doing what we do here. And if anybody needs any more of the links again posted of the things that we've been talking about in the chat, I can repost those as well. Just let us know. And you can always email us also at team@ballenbrands.com with any general questions, any follow-ups, or anything else that you might have on websites or the installs or support if you're already doing it and something's not working right. Just some general feedback. We're always happy to help.
Thanks, Jeff. I popped out real quick to blow my nose. Allergies, darn it. Okay. All right. Okay. I have not seen any questions at all. So how are you guys feeling right now as I'm showing you this? I know it's not quite as seamless today as I would like it, but are you getting an idea for the power of WordPress and how you could build this out? Or are you going, oh my God, this is just way too much. It's overwhelming. I'm never going to build on WordPress. Dramatic pause. Kathleen, okay, yes, getting some ideas, but it's a bit overwhelming too. It is, because you're seeing the whole thing, and there's so much now to actually learn. But once you fall, again, if you look at the videos in Ballen Academy, you guys can see that step by step. And I'm actually re-spinning a 101, WordPress 101 now, so to give you guys new material in there, just because they've updated there's more and more stuff that they're adding. So I'm going to try to make them shorter little blocks of, here's how you do the menu. Here's how you add widgets. Here's how you add a plugin. I've got a couple I've already added on plugins and widgets. Okay. So once you get your content all laid out like you like it, your plugins are going to add extra functionality down here to the bottom. And if you're using a sidebar, over to the side, like for example, when I showed you the rank math. Okay. Then what we do is right now, we're actually in this rank math tool. To get back to the post editor, we just click that little wheel and then we click post, and that will take us back into all the post information. This is another confusing component, is sometimes you'll wind up, let me show you another example. Like let's say we want to add an image. So we're going to go to this plus sign, and I just like to use keywords. I'm going to go to image. Maybe we'll do this guy. That's cool. I like that block. Can I replace the pair or no? I'm gonna have to play with that. Okay. So if let's say we want to add, let me do a related post block. Not the one I want. Hold on. That's okay. That'll still get us there. No, it won't. Hold on. Latest posts. Okay. By default, it drops in our latest posts. But if you look to the right, it has now opened a block editor, and it allows you now to do all kinds of fancy things with that block. But people get confused and they go, oh no, I'm lost. How do I get back to the post editor? Just always click this little wheel and it'll take you back to the post. If you want to get back to the block, just click the block. Oh, I'm sorry. Click the block and then click on the block tab. Okay. So for example, now with this related post, if I wanted to, I could add a little bit of the post content underneath it. I could add the author name if I want to. I can add the display post date if I want to. I can add a featured image if I want to. Then I can change the size of that featured image and how that shows up if I want to. Okay. Or I could make that smaller, and then I could align them differently, play around with however it looks on your theme. Everything looks different. There's a learning curve on how to get those to lay out just right. Then I can choose how to sort it, A to Z, Z to A, oldest to newest. Okay. So being able to click on these blocks and edit them is very helpful. Okay, Scott says, I use WordPress to generate my blogs currently. Oh, good, perfect. Kelly says, this is so helpful. I've been playing with WordPress before, but I got frustrated. I like that you've had a few small glitches that makes it real. You know what's interesting? I don't think there's ever a day that I work that I don't run into stuff like this in some capacity. I'm using a new plugin or a new widget, or I'm trying to get this widget to do that, or my image isn't aligning just right. There is no such thing as perfection in this game, but that's what makes it so exciting and fun, is because we can make everything look so different than everybody else's. Like there's so much playroom here to play with. You really want your mind to blow these plugins, like this one right here, for example, this UAG templates that's up here, this would not be part of your WordPress dashboard when you download it. But because I added, I think this is is this the Elementor one now? I think Elementor changed the name of their plugins. So over here now, I could add any template that I wanted and make it look all fancy, or I could go to patterns. So this is, I'm showing you this because this is my learning curve right now. I'm playing with these. I'm playing with these blocks that add different things like a call to action or testimonials or location and hours or portfolio. So for example, I go, oh, I really like this for my real estate website. Let me drop this block into my post. And I'm going to click that. And there it goes. It puts it into your post. But now I got to go edit it. I got to go edit that block and go, okay, that doesn't look the same. What just happened? My picture's changed, and and so there's all kinds of these little, what, Jeff?
I was just gonna say the UAG is actually the ultimate add-ons for Gutenberg. So that it's like an alternative to Elementor.
Yeah. But it's not, it's a block. It's
it's only the blocks. It's really
only
not
the
like
blocks.
the templates and so it's
Yeah, so it just depends on if you have a sidebar or you're using a wide theme. So learning curves the learning curves never go away. Let me just say that. But yet I would never want to use anything else because of the unbelievable ability to grow and customize this. Hold on, I see a couple more questions. I'm glad you guys are asking questions. Cecile says, is there a good plugin to help preview website and suggest actions to speed up a website? Oh, what's it called? The bane of my existence is that question. The speed, core vitals. You have no idea how painful that conversation is for me. Every time I get a website completely passing core vitals is a new scoring system that Google's using as part of its algorithm, and it's wicked hard. If you add a video and it slows down your website, your score drops. If you do, I mean, it's just ridiculous. No, I do not have a good plugin outside of Google's Site Kit, which is free. So right here, I'll give you an example of what it looks like. This is the best. This isn't a plugin that necessarily solves your problem, but it can help identify. Okay, so for example, how to write a letter to a friend you love. I'm going to click on view. I put that on the wrong website. I just realized that's supposed to be on a different website. Okay, right up here, there's something called Site Kit. This is a plugin for WordPress and it's free. I'm going to click on. So right here, it tells me that this blog post has had 109 impressions, 2 clicks, 2 users, 2 sessions. I just posted this one today or yesterday. Okay, but if I wanted to, I can go to edit the post. Oh no, I'm sorry, I need to click on Site Kit. Sorry about that. Let me go back. Okay, click on Site Kit. Okay, now it's going to open information about the page that Google cares about. Okay, so we were, before we kind of looked at our scoring system and optimizing our content, but now this is Google telling us. There it is, more details. Sorry, I'm new to this one too. Okay, so I should have picked, let me pick one that has a bunch more traffic on it. Hold on one second. Let's go to app for Mac. This one will have a lot more details because it has more traffic. Okay, so 8 best teleprompter apps for Mac. Our Site Kit's going to open right up here on the top. Okay. Oh, no, sorry, that's Rank Math. Site Kit, I need to click on more details. There we go. That was Rank Math creating that little scoring system up there. Okay, so up here, if you scroll down to speed, here's your overall metrics, how visitors are experiencing this page. So this is pulling directly from Page Site Insights. Anyway, it's going to give you a score. Mine is way too slow because I have ads on my website. I have ads everywhere, and those ads just kill your core vitals and your speed. And I have not found a way past that yet. So that's why I'm saying this is the bane of my existence. Every time I try to add these things that monetize the website, things go wrong and I don't know how to fix them yet. So it'll tell you down here how to improve these things, but I just got to tell you, I don't have the answers. I look at them and this part is way too technical. There is a company that I'm going to be testing coming up soon called, I think it's called Blog Fixer. And they have, they work with all of these independent developers that have skill sets in one area versus another. And there are some core vitals and speed optimists in this realm. Dib is another one, DIIB, Dib Engine. That's another one that tells you what's wrong with your website and then suggests people that can fix it for you. I'm not that people because I can't fix my own yet. So that's not my specialty. So there are all kinds, WP Rocket, there's all kinds of plugins that you can play with speed, but unless you understand this, I mean, this is like German down here. When you start getting into caching and next gen formats and reduced JavaScript, and I'm like, blah, 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 that part's just not me at all. Then having a plugin is not necessarily going to help you. You're actually going to have to go in and play with all those different elements. Another challenge is IDX in general for real estate websites. None of the IDX engines that I've seen so far are optimized for core vitals. So that immediately poses a challenge with real estate websites. That being said, our websites are still ranking. I know Google wants to get everybody on board with the core vitals, but not all of our plugins and tools have become that yet. They've got a long way to go. All right. Okay. So over here on the right-hand side with your posts, I want to show you really quick what's important after you've created your design. Over here, you're going to have different options too, depending on what plugins you have. But most importantly, you need to put this blog post in a category. So keep your categories all on point. My real estate website, for example, I am going to have a category called things to do in Las Vegas. And in that category under things to do Las Vegas, I'm going to have best places to eat, best things to do outdoors, best places to get married, or whatever, the different kind of things to do. You could have a best of, you could have a things to do, you could have a places to eat category. And then every restaurant that I would cover would go in that places to eat category, and everything to do would go in the things to do category. And then if I'm writing on real estate, for example, how to buy a house, maybe I'm going to do how to buy a house in a seller's market, how to buy a house after a divorce, how to buy a house with a partner, how to buy a house that won't appraise, all those different kinds of things like that. Well, I'm going to have a blog category called how to buy a house. And then all of those blog posts are going to go right there in that category. And that helps everything stay on topic. It helps Google see the relationship between your different topics, and it helps create kind of like a physical topic cluster. I'm not going to get into topic clusters today, but I've been talking a lot about that in our Facebook groups and stuff. But this is kind of creates that little physical silo or topic cluster that helps create a relationship between all those pages. And with using those breadcrumbs, your users are going to be able to click back and forth on all of those as well. So here, let me go to blog on my real estate agent website. Okay. And let's say things to do in Las Vegas for Mother's Day is a popular one right now. I'm getting a lot of traffic on that one. And, these hyper local blogs, we call those things to do they're not necessarily going to bring you a real estate sale, but it creates a relationship with that buyer or with that person that lives here. And Google stores that relationship. And next time they are searching for something more real estate related, you might pop up. It also helps prove you're an authority in the space of your city, your location. So I don't want Google just to think I'm a real estate agent. I want Google to understand I'm a Las Vegas real estate agent. Rank that entity as a whole, Las Vegas real estate. So I've got to give it a whole bunch of Las Vegas information and a whole lot of real estate information. Okay, so those two things go well together. I also want to make money on mine through affiliate income and through ads. So that's another reason why I do that, as you can see. So here the ads on the page are working right, but they do not work well with the IDX squares, and I have to figure that out. Okay, so up here, oh, where's the breadcrumbs? Am I missing it, Jeff? I don't know if I deactivated it. I don't see the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, they're not on there right now. Maybe.
I just put rank math on here. I took Ghost off this. I just did it this morning. So that's why. Okay. You said activating your breadcrumbs, you guys, it might be part of your theme. It might be part of your plugin. So that's another conversation. But typically up here, I would have a little breadcrumb that says things to do in Las Vegas, and then another one here that says homepage, and they would go click on those. But I just installed Rank Math this morning, so I need to go activate breadcrumbs so that they're back on there. Okay, so on the right-hand side, you can see all these different posts: top tips for creating an energy-efficient home, things to do Mother's Day, Las Vegas scooter rentals, Easter egg hunts, that type of thing. So over here, these would be your categories. Okay, so you add these. Kelly, Canva is your answer. Kelly asked, do you subscribe to iStock? You don't need anything but Canva. Canva. I dumped all the other extras a long time ago. Canva, I use Canva Pro, but Canva free. So let me give you an example. She just said, do you subscribe to iStock or any other photos? So what I would do if I'm creating a blog post about Cowabunga Bay, I would come over to Canva and I'm going to type in, first I would type in Cowabunga Bay, because it being a town in Las Vegas, there's a chance somebody has sold a photo to them with Cowabunga Bay. If it doesn't have Cowabunga Bay on there, I might just put water park. Look at that. Boom, done. Featured image. Also, you could go up here to templates and you could put things, all kinds of play around with different templates like summer. Okay. And you could do something like this, and then you could just change that to say Cowabunga Bay, and you could play around with your font sizes, shrink that down there, change that to Hello Cowabunga Bay. Boom. I had such a problem with images back in the day, and now I'm like just spitting them out like crazy. It's so easy. Okay, Jeff put the Canva link out there. Thank you. That was an excellent question. I'm really glad you asked about photos, because that is a big one. I used to spend a fortune on stock art photos, and now I can do so much in here. And you can customize, you could do a background, and you could add elements, and you could make it a unique photo if you want to get fancy into design like that. Yeah, all kinds of different ones in there. Okay. I know we only got 3 minutes left. So your categories are right here. And then underneath that would be a tag, if it made sense. So if our blog post is all about 99 things to do in Las Vegas, and it's in the category things to do, it probably doesn't need another tag. There's nothing else that it needs to be identified necessarily. But if I'm doing a whole series on public pools, and I'm putting them all in the things to do category, that I may tag it with public pools. That way it's getting both of those elements there. Here is where you would set your featured image. So we would go to upload files, select files, and then we would put in the water park one we just did. For the sake of today, I'm just grabbing one, and it goes in here. That would be your featured image. Right here, you're going to put in the excerpt to your blog. That's going to be like a tiny little snippet of what your blog is about. Usually includes your keyword. So it could be something like, here is the best list of 99 things to do in Las Vegas when it's hot. Okay, something like that. And then if you have any other plugins on the side, it'll ask you to put things in there. But otherwise, I usually save the draft. And then the last piece, before I go do all of my internal linking or external linking, I change this domain slug right here. See where it says URL slug? It will give you this long domain for this page. And I will usually just change that to a few keywords, things to do when it's hot. Okay, something like that. I don't like those long URL structures. Cecile says, you use photo plugin to size images with less pixels. Yes. Jeff, what do we use? Smush Pro? I think it's Smush Pro. And I do have an affiliate link also. I'm not sure if I have one for Smush Pro or not. I'm going to look right now. Smush.
You do. I'm grabbing it.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So we use Smush Pro, and that is one of the most popular ones on the market today. I have no idea about pricing. It's probably a free plus an upgrade or something. But yes, everybody, you do want to have a plugin that optimizes your images, that shrinks them down to appropriate file sizes, adds a compression that keeps your pages from being overloaded. So that was also a great question, Cecile. Thank you. Okay. Any last minute questions? We're done. Sorry, that wasn't as perfectly step-by-step as what I would have had in mind today, but we got through the 2 hours. And they had there was a threat that they were going to cut off my internet today. So I'm so excited that we made it through the full 2 hours without losing internet. They're doing some kind of thing. And it said either in the morning or the afternoon. So we got lucky and it's in the afternoon. All right. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. And I'll be continuously updating the WordPress 101 tutorials for you guys so you can keep breaking this down without it being too overwhelming for you. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. That makes me happy. Okay, talk to you later. Thank you so much for joining me today.